When it comes to movement and positioning, it can be very challenging to know how to do everything right. I wanted to share some tips on different types of movement, and in this video I'm gonna go through all of them, and as well as some advice on positioning. So I'm not gonna waste your time, so let's just get into the video. I decided to make a custom game since it's a very good way to kind of explain everything. So when it comes to movement, the pure fundamentals that you have to know how to do is first strafing. Strafing is basically just A and D, and this will basically decide how much of your body you're going to expose. Since if I want to peek into a minibar, for example, if I overstrafe, for example like this, so over peak, I'm going to be exposed throughout all of my body basically. Unless if I want to do it like this, commit to the peak, but as I peek a crouch. Good idea if you want to swing basically anything, but essentially you want to hold it close. So like as you peek, you may still pre-fire it if you want to, but essentially you want to show as little of your body as you can. So that's why you need to be good at strafing, so you don't overexpose yourself. So strafing out of the way, we're gonna go into basic peeking. So I'm gonna throw a drone towards the radiator here. The purpose of this is to basically show as little of my body again while I'm trying to shoot the drone. The thing that we're gonna go over is this kind of peek. So I call this a half quick peek, because the only thing that you're missing here is going up against the wall and then doing this. So that's quick peeking without the ADSing, right? So what you do is as you peek, you press D and E, and you cancel it out with pressing A. So this is basically half of a quick peek. I usually do this if I'm trying to one tap with a pistol or something. Keep in mind that the biggest advice I can give here is look at when I ADS in. I don't ADS at the wall. The ADS as I'm peeking out, and this is very important when you're doing any kind of peek, unless you're trying to pre-fire, which is also a valid way of doing it. But basically, the reason why I don't ADS in as I'm doing this, it's because for me it's a little bit easier to readjust my aim if a person isn't not on top wide, but they're already at the picture there. Next one is going to be the one thing that you probably clicked this video, and that's how to do the sieqe peek or the quick peek. When you're quick peeking and with any kind of peeking that you're trying to do, what's important is that you're close to the wall. Since if I quick peek in the middle of the room like this, it just makes no sense. Why? Because the point of a quick peek is to basically, when you're next to the wall, is to only show a fraction of your body, so usually the shoulder. So as I'm doing this, if I'm peeking towards shop door, I'm only trying to show just my shoulder. The way that you do it is, as I mentioned before in this video with the half quick peek, you get close to the wall, lean out, and then you peek out with A, and you cancel it with D and E. What it's gonna look like when you're doing it the right way is there's gonna be a small twitch on the scope. So when you do this, this is the right way to do it. You can also do it from the other side. The thing is that even though quick peeking, it does look flashy and great for clips, you shouldn't be doing it all the time. The reason for that is too many people focus way too much on their peak compared to what's going on around them. And this happens way more and more, especially now in ranked, where people are overcommitting to just this one person. Meanwhile, there's already a guy on top wide, just pressuring them from the other side. And the last part for this video, it's gonna be about positioning. So the basic advice is the same as with peeking, and that's gonna be to not overexpose yourself. And we're gonna use your imagination here for a little bit. When you're holding an angle and you're sure where the enemy is coming from, how you hold it, it's gonna be important, because what you don't want to do is hold it from here You can hold like this, for example, which is like valid, or you can even prone and be very annoying. As you're holding an angle, you need to keep in mind from where you are exposed from, and you want to minimize exactly that, how many angles you're exposed from. If I hold an angle towards shop again from here, I'm exposed from white. If a guy repels into cocktail, if I'm a defender, there's a guy pressuring me from white, from shop, and there's a guy below me. And let's say it's a pulse. What you want to do is not stand on the desk. And it's the same reason as with before when it came to crouching. And that's because you have to get like off the table, make a sound cue. So the way that I'm gonna play this out is I'm kinda gonna hope that the pulse doesn't have a C4 anymore. And I'm gonna challenge the guy on white stairs, because that just gives me a lot more room to work with. Because if I stay here and just like wait, the only thing that I can do is I can get on the table. If I run towards freezer, they're gonna kill me. If I go onto cocktail, they're gonna kill me. And if I jump down, again, I make a sound cue, I'm at a disadvantage because I'm offside, so I have to get back. So in this scenario, the best that you can do is kill the guy white, because it gives you freedom to hopefully have a freezer rotate, but may actually make the rotate. So I made this, and now you can play off in shop, towards shop. You can pressure the guy on new hatch, you can fall back. Maybe have a bathroom rotate, so you can hold this. And if they're not being aware and have like no drones or something, you can even pressure them behind. Now we're also gonna talk about something else, which is gonna be how you hold angles. Now, something that people deem not valid sometimes is holding an angle like this. And this is like a very bad example here. You're holding the pixel, right? And there's a guy in shop, like you might as well even hold like this. The reason for that is like in this scenario, because of the counter in front of me, my chest is covered by the table. My head is basically leaning mostly towards the pillar here, not overexpose myself, because if I'm like that, most of my body is going to be exposed even if I hold like this. So they can see my head, they can see my shoulder, everything. If I'm standing, it's gonna be the same situation. So like as you see like that there is like this in front of me, so like in front of my head, it's actually going to be quite valid to hold it this way compared to that way. Same goes with things around the map. Lamps. On Oregon you have like coffee mugs, you have plants, anything. These things will cover your face, so your head, and a lot of things that are around the map are going to help with like kind of like camouflaging you. With that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, do leave a like, subscribe. It does mean a lot to me, and thank you for all the support you guys been showing me. And as always, good luck in your game.